Hi everyone, thank you for tuning in. Last night we left off in our study in Second Delirium, Alchemy of the Word. We talked about a song from the highest tower. There's actually some stuff I want to share. I connected with the spirit of Patty Smith and she pointed out some things. There's some other things that the spirit of Rimbaud has shown me that I want to share. So there are actually a couple ways you could read this poem. I had my interpretation in my first video. I think it's accurate. I'm sorry, I have to, Rimbaud's earlier version of Song from the Highest Tower confirms it. But, we could also read this from a heathenistic perspective, from a righteous perspective, and from a wicked perspective. Meaning, so we know this stanza, so the green field to oblivion falls, overgrown flowering with incense and weeds, and the cruel noise of dirty flies. That would represent the next apostasy, the fall of the age that we want to come. But this could also be from a satanic perspective. Let it come, the season we can love. I have waited so long that at length I forget and leave my heaven, my fear and regret. A sick thirst darkens my veins. Let it come, the season we can love. So the green field to oblivion falls, overgrown, flowering with incense and weeds, and the cruel noise of dirty flies. Let it come, the season we can love. This could be totally satanic. And I think Rimbaud is actually mirroring, whether he even knew it or not, from a righteous and a wicked perspective. And again, it is quite different from the version of Song from the Highest Tower that we read of in The Triumph of Patience. Now, something else the spirit of Rimbaud showed me, not specifically in this poem, but in earlier poems, and I've been playing with this, but I don't really understand. He says, the number of verses in each stanza matters. So we had to do the numerology here, right? So 2 would be, since Hebrew is the only pure language, we go to the Hebrew, so that would be the house of God. We have 4 lines in this verse, so that would be the doorway of prophecy, the Dalet, etc. I don't know how a sick thirst darkens my veins is the house of God, but my interpretation of that, which is confirmed in the earlier version of the poem, that it's written, Jesus said, we're always supposed to be hungry and thirsty for the word. We're never supposed to be satisfied. Trying to do this without losing the page. I have to do this all at one hand. It's very hard. Something else, Rimbaud was specifically showing me this in his earlier poems. Okay, his earlier verse poetry. Here we have some in the beginning of the book called Wandering, Dream in Wintertime. Wandering is an excellent staple of his. I highly recommend reading it. But we see that this is what Rimbaud actually showed me as I was reading his poetry. He showed me pay attention to the amount of verses that are in each stanza. Notice that we have 4 verses in the 2 first stanzas, and then there's 3 verses in the last stanzas. Okay, it's repeated again. He does this repeated again. He showed me this matters. Do the numerology. It matters, and that unlocks secrets in the poem. So just like we read in our Bibles, it's the same way. So yeah, that's pretty cool. So I just wanted to share that really quickly with you guys. Okay, thanks for tuning in. Allah bless you.